All right, Zach. It looks like there's a little bit of breaking news. We normally do our game preview podcast, but we went ahead and said, Zach, let's jump on and let's talk about this. The Cowboys had a great win versus the Commanders, and we talked about this a little bit on the live stream. You guys go check that out. That was the type of win that says, okay, you're in the hunt this season. Go make a play. Well, breaking news coming from Trey Wingo, which is kind of interesting, but I don't think that he would put fluff out there. And now these guys are starting to be more independent with how they drop news, and whether it's Josina Anderson or Diana Rossini or whoever the case it is, when news like this pops, we got to talk about it. The Cowboys are inquiring and have made calls for Max Crosby. Zach, how you feel high level? Do you feel like this move makes us okay, let me actually take it back because I didn't get to really write a script down. I just really want to just talk about it off the top of my head. High level, Zach, take your time, be long-winded. What do you think about even the thought that the Cowboys are inquiring for Max Crosby, bro?
I've been saying it with this offense. Like, the offense is so good for Dallas that they're worth taking a chance on. And just that little glimmer of hope that they gave us against the Commanders, like, they played well. You were watching the film. I was watching the film this morning. Like, there were some guys that really stepped up and showed some stuff that we haven't seen, but It's always kind of felt like this team or this defense was missing a piece or two, right? And Dallas, I mean, I can't imagine people in that building are like happy with the defense, with the offense that they have. Like, the offense is Super Bowl caliber. So getting that other unit equal or just a little bit up compared to what we've seen for the past couple of weeks, like, that could be your run. So hearing that Dallas is calling not just about a pass rusher, like one of the best pass rushers in the league and run defenders on the edge in Max Crosby, it's a big name. The Raiders just paid him. I am excited. And you think about, like, at least we know that they're calling. Like, we expected it, but now we're starting to hear, okay, they're looking at Crosby, and we might hear some other names pop up here and there, but they are on the phones trying to figure out what they want to do. And I'm sure we'll talk about compensation and all of that, but I'm excited. Like, that would be a huge move.
I look at it like this. Let's get this defense to average or a little bit above average. If that takes going to get a star on a bad Raiders team, when you look at the Raiders, they are in total, they're going two different directions. It's like, hey, you just told your grandma bye. All right, grandma, I'm going back to this side of town, and grandma's going on the other side of town. Like, that's where these teams are. You look at their offensive performance, this team may win 2 more games this year. Okay, so they are 2-3 years away. They're a quarterback away. The Geno experiment hasn't worked. They drafted Ashton Jeanty. We talked about a pre-show. Drafting Ashton Jeanty for that team, you're not a running back in the first round away. You're just not. And, a lot of smart people told us, hey, man, Pete Carroll, he had Geno in Seattle. It's been a disaster. Literally the worst offense in the NFL. You think the Jets are bad? Go try to watch the Raiders offense. So it lends to make you think, okay, there's going to be people who come in and say, well, the Raiders shouldn't do it. That makes no sense. They're going to hang up the phone. Well, you keep this guy on this roster for what reason? You're not winning anything anytime soon. The defense is very far away, but he's a star. If I'm the Raiders, I'm using, this is Foots here. And this is me talking. This is not me. I would use a first-round pick on Max Crosby. I would probably use this year's first-round pick on Max Crosby. I want to have those twos. I want to have 2 firsts in one of these years, but Max Crosby is 28 years old. He's not as good as Micah, but he's very, very close. He's very, very close. And, Zach, you had a great analogy and a way to think about it. I don't want to take your point, but Foots is using a first-round pick on Max Crosby, and I'm taking on the contract because he plays the right way. He's been on a bad team. You bring him to a good team, a good locker room. We just saw what we're seeing. We're living what George Pickens looks like in a good infrastructure with other good players. We're looking at it. Everybody told us, Zach, George Pickens, bad teammate. He's going to give up on routes. I'm watching George Pickens block. I'm watching CD come back this week and George Pickens run clearouts so CD can get open. So stop with the bad teammate stuff. You bring in another good player like Max Crosby, who's been on a bad team. What is he going to do? He's going to elevate a bad defense. I would use a first-round pick on him.
I 100% expect the Raiders to entertain this. Like, some people are going to be like, there's no way they're giving up Max Crosby. And I would agree with you if they had a glimmer of hope, right? That's not the guy like that you feel, okay, we finished this year 7-10. Like, next year, you obviously keep Crosby, then we'll build on top of that. Like you said, they might win another game or two this year. So having him there on a 3-year deal, because he just signed an extension, it doesn't make much sense team building wise. With Pete Carroll, they might just be ready to figure something out. They want to change some stuff up, give him a little bit more of the reins, and kind of reset this thing. And they can do that with a first-round pick. Now, my thing is, and we were talking, I would absolutely love, if they could trade him for one first-round pick. Because you think about it in terms of what that looks like with trading Micah away. If we would have said in 2024, okay, do you want Micah Parsons for $47 million? I don't know if that's exactly what he would have signed for in Dallas, but for $47 million. Or do you want Max Crosby, who's making a $30 million base salary this year, next year, and then the 27th, and an extra first-round pick? Or do you want Micah Parsons? If Dallas could get out of it just giving away one first-round pick that they got in the Micah trade, then that's kind of what you're looking at. And it feels like a very good trade-off, in my opinion. But I just don't want them to use that second one and kind of just reset this thing. And I'm not going to be mad about it. Like, you're adding talent. Like, they're trying to their version of all in this year. I wouldn't be mad about it. It would feel like a slight overpay. But if they can get away with just one of the first-round picks,
one and a player,
like a player,
Tolbert,
send Tolbert to Vegas.
Send a 3-way package. Take them all.
Exactly. But if they could get away with one, I would feel really, really good about this trade. Really quick, guys, before we continue, I want to tell you about the sponsor of the channel for this season and this video, Sleeper, the best daily fantasy sports app on the market. Sleeper has one of the best interfaces that I've seen. So many sports, so many different things. They have fantasy football, they have picks, and I wanted to give you guys my picks for next Sunday night between the Packers and the Steelers. The best time to get in on these picks is early on. That way you can get in before everybody else does, right? And I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers over 215.5 passing yards, more than for Aaron Rodgers, more than half a touchdown, anytime touchdown for Josh Jacobs. And I'm going to say the Packers are going to pick on Jalen Ramsey once again because they just saw what happened to him this past game, and Jordan Love more than 1.5 passing touchdowns. That is my picks here on Sleeper. Thank you to Sleeper for sponsoring the channel, this video, and for the rest of the season. Thank you guys, the best daily fantasy sports app. DoubleMove, get a 100% deposit match up to $100. Now, let's get back into it.
Let's talk about the player who Max Crosby is, Zach, and then let's talk about a few other names that the Cowboys, they're looking for ends, it looks like. They want to get more pressure, wouldn't you know it. I still don't disagree with them moving on from Micah because this allows you to play these games and the B players at the trade deadline. And being fair, you didn't know that your offense would be this good. Nobody thought the offense would be this good. You could project all you want. I knew that you would move through your receivers, but this has clicked faster than probably even you thought. And you showed glimpses of a formidable defense versus the Commanders, albeit they didn't have their receivers. But listen, the world picked the Commanders without their receivers, so they showed something. And I'll say this. If you look, this is just how bad the Raiders are. The Commanders beat that team 41-21. You just put up 40 on the Commanders, so it just shows you you're not that far away, especially if you get some good help. But the type of player that Max Crosby is to me is what makes him great is that Aiden Hutchinson, that energy. It's the fit versus the run and the pass. Like, he doesn't come off the field. You don't have to package him so teams can get a beat on what type of personnel you have in there. He knifes through there on run downs. He's he is an upgraded version. He's a super version of what Marshawn Nealon is, because Marshawn Nealon plays the run at times, but then he gives you really nothing as a pass rusher. Crosby gives you a lot as a pass rusher and is a plus player. He's better than Micah ever would dream about being versus the run. And he honestly plays with more energy than both of those guys. So not to, compare apples and oranges, because we know the pass rusher that Micah is, but I just think that Max Crosby is an energy guy that would just permeate through this defense and through this locker room. What do you think about who Max Crosby is, the players at?
The first thing that I think of is the motor. Like, he's not going to give up. Like, he's out there playing his heart out, and he's been doing it for years on a Raiders team that just is not good. Like, plain as day, like, he is out there constantly trying to make plays. Every time the Cowboys have played the Raiders, even when they're not good anywhere else, the first name that you say about that team is Max Crosby. Like, don't let him wreck the game, because he does have that potential. And bringing him in elevates the defensive line room in both ways, more than just a pass rusher. Like, he can stop the run, he can anchor down, shed, and make tackles, which is what this team needs. That's why I wouldn't be interested in just adding another body, because Crosby isn't another body. Like, he is a superstar still at 28 years old, just turned 28. So he's still relatively young and could play for another 3, 4, 5 years, depending on what that looked like moving forward. But it would be a big step in the right direction for this team, saying, okay, 2025, this is the year. That 2025 and 2026, because he is under contract, it wouldn't be a rental. But like the next couple of years, we're gonna hunker down and really try to win this thing.
Yeah, and I think that it adds to, and this year you were going to free agency needing to get some help anyway, right? Yeah. You can't just rely all on the draft, and because you didn't pay Micah, you would have spent those funds somewhere else. Bring on a contract, push it down, kick it down. When can we get out of this contract for Crosby? Zach, I think you had some numbers pre-show.
So it says there's a potential out in 2028. Okay. I guess that's the extension that he signed this offseason. Now, I'm not a cap expert or anything. It says that there's no dead cap hit after 2028, but I don't know if the cash stays in towards the cap, how that would work. You'd have to, but it says a potential out with zero dead cap after 2028, which would make it even more intriguing.
Absolutely. Because like you just hit it on the head. He's a young 28. He could still play. Yep. I just think it makes a lot of sense. And don't just go get a guy. Get a guy. Like get the guy. Go swing big. You don't know when Dak is going to play like this again. MVP front runner. Give him some help. Go, because with Max, now you feel like your defense can get multiple stops. Like your defense can go out and win you a game. Oh, by the way, DeMarvion Overshown, 21 days out. Oh, by the way, Savon Ravel, 21 days out. Oh, by the way, Cooper Beebe. So like helps on the way. The offense is clicking. You're healthy. I don't know, man. I would do this. I've seen names like Jalen Phillips. I would do that as well. I like Jalen Phillips, but this is Jalen Phillips on steroids. Zach, I would go get Max Crosby. I wouldn't think twice about it. Hopefully the Cowboys do. Do you got any closing arguments before we wrap this one up? Emergency vibes?
I would want them to make the deal. Like let's bet on the offense, please. 2025, 2026. Like let's go try to get a Super Bowl. And one more thing, I know people like to look at the money and injury history. He's really been a durable player. You're going to see that now that he has a knee injury that he suffered against the Chiefs, but for the most part throughout his career, durable, and you can count on him.
I agree. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you guys later this week. We'll be breaking down the Denver game. You guys will always see us before and after those games. So we'll be over on Fansided, but this will be on both our pages because breaking news, the Cowboys are seriously interested in Max Crosby. Peace.
See ya.